What do you want?
What do I want? In what context?
What? Just tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. We're here this evening after work for me. After yoga for Lisa
More
Duray.
like after laundry, all the laundry that I've been doing all day.
And fish tacos, never forget.
We had some really good fish tacos from Icho in Oak Park.
Yes, they were really good.
Good, yeah. Well, Mariah, what year did you graduate from Morton East?
I graduated in 2023.
It was not that long ago, but so long ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I just think about all my classmates. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My school experience.
Are you still in touch with any of your classmates?
Yeah, especially on Instagram and a little bit on Snap. But Snapchat is more personal for me.
Yeah.
I have 2 best friends since middle school. And I'm close to them mostly. As of high school, I think I was just focused on school and myself.
Were you?
I was worried about. I was not the homework part, I think, but the school, the experience, the environment, the people, myself.
Was homework hard for you? Did you just not get the school vibe once you left the school?
I like homework. Actually, I hate homework. I don't know why I said that. I like schoolwork, but when I go home, it's just different. Like school and home, very different.
Yeah.
So
it was hard for you to get your work done once you got home.
Yeah, I like going to the library even now, to make notes on my skincare routine. And a new job. I even go to the library for school things.
Okay.
Because at home I just like to have a homey vibe.
Yeah. You don't want to bring work there.
Yeah. It's like they say you should not stay in your bed a long time.
Yeah.
Or especially before you go to bed. Because then it's you're just in your bed and it's not really comfortable for sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your bedroom should be all about just rest and sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I was very hesitant about putting a TV in my bedroom, but it's there now.
I understand. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, and it's there now. I get that too. I have one too, which is funny.
You do?
Yeah.
So I kept falling asleep on my couch because I like watching TV as part of my nightly relaxation routine. I just kind of... I like TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
hear everything.
That better than our voices.
You hear my dry hands.
The skin flaking off.
You could probably hear my eyelashes and my blinking. No?
No.
That's only in cartoons.
Okay, so what were your favorite parts about school at Morton?
Interesting question. Well, off the top of my head, my whole time in school, I was the school activities, the school clubs. That was my favorite thing. I didn't really care about my peers that much. I just thought with my peers and with people in general, everything was going to fall in place. But I was always excited about things that I can control, which is joining clubs and me talking to my teachers. Yeah. Me trying to insert myself in good positions in school.
Yeah. What clubs were you in?
My first club ever was probably a student ambassador. And what are those called? Student council. I was in student council.
Oh, student council.
In middle school.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I was in sports. I was in volleyball. And I was in cross country.
Okay.
Okay, and that's middle school. And then in high school, I joined yoga.
I remember that.
Yes, it was my favorite, most life-changing experience and club.
Really? Yeah?
Yeah, yep. I already had a little taste of yoga, and then when I was in the yoga club, it just centered me
Mm.
and
Yeah.
changed me for the
Oh.
better.
Nice.
Yeah, it not even changed. It just made me bigger.
Enhance,
Mm-hmm.
more like.
Yeah.
I think I remember you telling me that you and your sister Shayla
Mm-hmm.
started practicing yoga during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing for us, so that we could keep moving, keep our
Mhm.
bodies going, our minds.
Mhm.
That was a really big thing.
Yeah, it's important to keep our bodies moving. They like to move.
Mm-hmm.
When we get too sedentary, that's when the problems happen, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing now to keep your body moving?
I walk, take public transportation. I feel guilty when I take cars.
Yeah.
What else do I do? I do a lot of stretching, like throughout
Okay.
my day when nobody's watching. I do a lot of stretching, a lot of breathing. Like sometimes I go outside and I do those like 25 times.
Just big deep breaths.
Yeah, like even bigger than that, like very exaggerated.
Ah.
The more, the better, really. The more exaggerated, it just feels good. You feel it in your body.
Yeah, you can feel the oxygen moving through
Yes.
and refreshing everything.
Yes, you could feel it go to your head, like your brain, like your body's breathing because you're breathing.
Yeah. Do you remember doing any breathing exercises in the classroom with me?
Mm-hmm. In the morning.
Yeah.
I had you in the morning. Second period. But for me, most of the time it was first period.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I remember it was like you had me for 2 semesters. The first semester, Shayla was in the class too. I didn't even know you two were sisters.
Yeah.
At first.
That's so funny.
I remember when you two got really excited about going to a concert, and I can't remember who it was. Do you remember?
Oh my God, Harry Styles?
Oh, is it Harry Styles?
Yeah,
oh
it had to be.
You were so excited.
Yeah. And I think we saw the Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
Also that year.
Okay.
It was awesome. 10 out of 10. It was the best. It was crying everywhere. Costumes, amazing.
Yeah, I can remember the first concert that I went to in high school. So now, you've been out of high school for 2 years, and what have you been doing in those 2 years?
I've just been taking my time. I don't really stress about working, and I'm very blessed to have that because of my mom. I've just been focusing on myself and me as a person, and which sounds kind of cliche, but it's very true. Without school and with like other things aside, I have a lot of time to myself, and as I'm growing, I'm like, well, I have myself, so I better work on it. Work on myself. And that's what I do. Basically, spend a lot of time, figure out my hobbies, figure out how I feel in general, and what I could learn in the world.
So do you read, or do you have like
yeah, I forgot about that.
That you follow?
Yeah, I went on vacation once, a little winter vacation, and I bought a woman's memoir. She was like 37, and it was just a memoir, and like it's called Lots of Candles, Plenty of Cake. So it's, you get a lot older, but you learn so much and you receive so much in this lifetime, in your lifetime. And it was really nice. It's just so cool because it's just like reading someone's diary, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
I liked it a lot.
And everyone's got stories to share, and that's part of why I wanted to start this podcast, so that I can get people like you to tell their stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
And one of the stories that I find interesting about you is how you got to the job that you're doing now as a caretaker.
Yeah. I love my job. It feels so natural. Like, I really want to cry. Like, it's very beautiful to me. I take it very personal. I got my job through a friend, and it was so weird because I didn't have to do anything to get this job. It just fell into my arms. And I knew I was perfect for it. Because my grandpa had passed. He just passed before I got that job. And the work I did with my grandpa made me eligible for my new job. So in my new job, I am a caretaker. I take care of elderly people with dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather had dementia. I took care of him. And it was a very, like, moving experience for me.
Did you live with your grandpa?
No, but I lived with him, like, in the summer, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And I took care of him for the last 2 years of his life.
Is your grandma still alive?
Yes,
Okay.
she's very strong and beautiful.
Yeah.
She doesn't even think that she's her age.
That's, yeah, I don't think any of us do. None of us really realize how old we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the lessons that you learned working with your grandpa that during that time that have been really helpful for you now?
Okay. I had to, like, cut his nails and wash his feet and put lotion on him. And, like, just the whole physical contact thing. I was not familiar with it at all until I was doing work with him.
Mm.
And it made me, like, more comfortable. I guess giving other people, like, physical attention.
Yeah.
When they need it. And that is very special. I don't think a lot of people have that. I have, like, a gentle touch because of my experience and the love I had for my grandpa.
Okay.
And I'm able to, like, take care of my clients with the same love because I'm used to it at that point. Also because I love it and I want to do it. I want to take care of people. I want to make people comfortable, especially as an older person.
Yeah. You
went through life, and, like, the least I can do is make you comfortable.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Just hearing you talk about how much you love your job, it just it makes me so grateful for the people who have you as their caretaker, because I know that you're being honest and real about it. And I wish that for anybody who winds up needing care, like, later in their life, to have someone as thoughtful as you. Move on.
Oh my gosh, like, not to, like, boost my ego or whatever, but I'm very, like, I also feel very lucky for people. Like, I also feel like, not, like, okay, I feel like you're very blessed to have me, but it's not even that. It's really, like, I'm blessed with all the things that was put inside me so that I can project it onto you. I just feel blessed for myself. I feel blessed for the person because I'm like, I feel blessed and thankful that they feel comfortable because of me. And I feel like, wow, like, you feel comfortable because of me. But it's like, no. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a little bit both. It's a little bit of the good angel and the bad one.
We all have those.
Yeah. So that's a little tough thing about my job. Is, like, you have to stay humble and stay good angel. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Well, maybe there's, like, a little bit of bad angel in there that needs to come out too sometimes.
Well, you gotta stick up for them too. You gotta stick up for your clients, even with their family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a bad thing. But you gotta let the dog out sometimes. You gotta stand up for them.
Well, since you know so much about how Alzheimer's affects a person's personality and their brain, like, do you think you have a little bit better, or just because you're the person outside of the family, do you think it's, like, a little bit different because you don't have the same kind of emotions that a person who's related to the patient would have?
Yeah. So when I walk into a family, I see them for how I meet them. Mm-hmm. And the family, they know each other forever. They know each other their whole lives.
Yeah.
So sometimes they trust their own intuition and their own choices rather than mine, just because they know each other better.
Yeah.
Like, my opinion is just kind of like an outsider's opinion. Sometimes they think listening to someone from the outside is, like, unsafe, you could say.
Yeah, I can, and it probably comes with a little bit of ego too, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I know this is my mother.
Exactly.
Kind of thing, or this is my dad. I know them. I know what they need and what they want. I think I mentioned to you before, like when we had dinner a little while ago, some of the things that you noticed coming into the situation with your client with their family members.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just remember when I walked into the job, they were like, here's the instructions, here's what we want you to do, here's what we expect, and we will chime in whenever.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So I went into the job doing whatever they asked, but then I got to know my client and I got to see the family, and I formed my own a little opinion and see like, okay, I'm here to take care of this person. How can I do my job more? You know, how can I work my magic in here? Because I got my job for a reason. I got my job because of my gifts, you could say. Like, how can I use my gifts in this situation with this family? So I just kind of started to take care of my client like my own grandparent.
Yeah.
And it's like different than what they're used to, but just the way that I did it, you know, it's just a little bit more. Like everyone could use a little more love,
Yeah.
a little more care from other people.
Yeah. And then you were telling me about how your client doesn't remember you.
Yes,
Yeah.
which I thought was very crazy. So when I first walked into the family, you know, I'm a different race than them. Okay, we don't know each other, right? My client, she has dementia. Okay, and I got you on that one. What if I sang a sad song?
Wait, is this mine? Yeah, this is mine.
Oh wait, what am I talking about? I know a good song. I want a Sunday kind of love, a love to last past Saturday night. And I'd like to know it's more than love at first sight. That's not the line. Oh wait, it is. And I want a Sunday kind of love.
Boom.
We could go on. I love that song. I did that song for a karaoke night.
I don't know that song.
It's Sunday Kind of Love by Etta James.
Oh.
The Etta James.
Etta James.
The queen
you know
herself.
about Etta James?
I know a few things about Etta James. I did a little essay on her in freshman year.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. I was actually at Tepeyac. It's in
Where's
Little
that?
Village. Yeah, it's in Little Village private school. Okay. I loved it. I don't care. I loved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah. But then COVID happened.
Yes.
And I just couldn't go there no more. It was very scary. We were in school. It was March 13th. And just bells, announcement, vacate the school immediately.
Get out. They did it like that?
Yeah. Like almost exactly like that, actually. Like, it was very scary. Our hearts were racing. We were like, what do we do? This feels like a fire escape. Like, it was very scary. We thought an apocalypse was happening. Literally. We had to leave in the middle of school. Some people were crying. It was very emotional. It's our freshman year.
Oh my gosh. Horrible.
Yeah, it was. It really, really was. It was very unfair. Yeah.
Oh,
very
gosh.
Unfair.
At Morton, it happened over spring break. So,
okay.
We all went on spring break, and then before spring break, we knew that there was a pandemic going on, right? And there were like all these conflicting ideas of what might happen. And I heard some things about other schools getting closed down. Like my niece and nephew were in college at the time and they were sent home. So I knew something was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And I heard from people around me at Morton that they were trying to hold off until spring break. And gosh, I might be wrong about this. Maybe we shut down before spring break. I don't remember now.
Mm-hmm.
But I know over spring break, we got communication about like, hey, you're going to have to try to adjust to this online thing and get ready. And
Right.
and then when we went back, did you go online? Did your school have you guys go online then after March?
Yeah, I don't remember it that much. The end of the year was very
chaotic and
vivid memory. Yeah.
Did you even try to like go to class when it was online, or were you like, screw this?
No, I did go.
Yeah.
I think I did. I mean, I did. I know I did. I paid attention most of the time, but I did go. It was very sad. I felt like I'm supposed to be in school. I wasn't like, oh, I'm not even in school. Let me shut it off. Like, no, I wanted to go to school. I felt sad that I couldn't like do the normal routine, of course.
I can't remember his last name right now, but I remember this boy named Danny almost every day would say, Miss, when are we going to come back to school? And my heart would just break every time he said it, because I'd be like, I don't know, honey.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're coming back.
Yeah.
But it's not looking good. It's probably not going to be this year. And I remember him always going, I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at school like this. And I'm like, we're all really bad at school like this right now.
Yeah.
It never got easy.
It sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. We did learn one thing, though. We learned that kids need to be in school.
Everything changed when we did finally go back.
Yeah. Like what? What do you mean?
Like the way kids talk to each other. Like nobody knew how to socialize anymore.
So you noticed that also as a kid?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I was very scared. Like when I was in when COVID hit and everything, it was my high school years, So I didn't care about high school. Like I didn't care about like my peers as much because nobody knew how to socialize.
Yeah.
And like nobody really hung out anymore. They didn't go to each other's houses that much unless they were like best friends or really close.
Yeah, everybody was so afraid.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on at that house. You don't know what their practices are. Are they washing their hands as much as we wash our hands and all that? Remember when we were all like washing the packages that our food came in even?
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I remember bringing my things home and like washing my food packages.
That's crazy. It's kind of overkill, don't you think?
Honestly, it happened. It lasted for like maybe a couple weeks, and I was like, I'm not doing this every time I come home. Yeah. There's no way.
It's crazy how they like bring things that are like, you have to do this, is mandatory, or it's dangerous if you don't. And then they kind of just like, oh, turns out we were being dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard for me when the kids came back. Like I was so happy to have kids back in the room, but the masks, like you couldn't see if they were smiling or it was just eyes. Yeah. Just eyes looking. And I was like, my eyes looking back at them. I'm like, are you confused? Gosh. Are you smiling? I don't understand here. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, like who are you?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want to say something? Don't even know.
It's still hard. So it's 5 years later, and I'm still having a hard time getting kids to talk to each other the way that they used to. It is really sad. It is. It's coming around very slowly. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I told you this, but I'm going to retire in 3 years. Mm-hmm.
You did not tell me that?
I'm close to retiring.
Wow, I might cry now.
It's you have to do paperwork and sign and everything. So
That's
I
major.
signed the letter
Mm-hmm.
that I'm leaving. This is it. There's no going back.
Yeah.
In 2028, June of 2028. So
Yeah.
like 3.5 years. And I'm really hoping that I can witness kids being the way that they used to
Social.
be, where socialization wasn't so hard for them.
Yeah, being goofy like wasn't a
Yeah.
crime or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It's because I feel bad. I feel so bad for them. I wish that they can enjoy high school the way that kids used to enjoy high school.
It's so sad. Like online, you see all these throwbacks, like how high school was for millennials or
Yeah.
older.
Yeah.
It was very like so different. Like, everyone was so close together. Everyone was so unique.
Yeah.
Everyone like just so different.
Yeah.
So
It was different.
Yeah.
It was. There's some good things now, though. There are some things that are better about high school now.
Like what?
Like what?
Do tell.
Well, I can't think of a single one.
Let me try to think.
I'd like to say technology makes it better, but I don't think it totally does all the time.
Technology, you never know. Small robots. Good or evil.
Are you talking about phones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Evil. 1000% evil.
Yeah.
For kids. Because
my
you're
gosh.
kids.
Yeah.
You can't control them. They can't control themselves.
It's a black hole.
It is. I mean, you used to use your phone in class. Do you remember? Like, I'd try so hard to get you guys to not use your phones.
Me? Just kidding.
Yes, you.
I don't remember what I would be doing. I think a lot of kids would listen to music. That was another thing about the pandemic and everything. Music was like what we had. That was what kept our brain like moving for real. Like that's what kept us like
feeling joy or
kind of, but it was also just like our music was like a little part of our personality. It was a little bit of part of like who we were.
Okay.
It like projects how we feel.
Yeah.
You know, and like having our own personal music was just having our own like personal playlist, like the background of our life.
So do you think it helped you understand what you were feeling because you heard other people?
I think it helped us express our feelings.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a lot of interaction with each other.
Okay.
So it was just a lot of interaction with ourselves, really.
Okay.
It's like, what do I want to listen to? How do I feel right now?
Okay.
How do I really like what this song is saying?
Yeah.
Or giving me vibes? Like, do I really like it?
So it's hard as a teacher when I have students who probably feel the same way and are enjoying music for that reason, but they put their earbuds in and then they're closed off to everything else going on in the room.
Yeah.
So, and they'll tell me, well, I work better with music. And I want to say, well, okay, well then listen to your music, but then you're not part of the room.
Yeah, there's a time. There's a time to play music.
Yeah.
There's still like respect. Like you gotta be respectful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
You gotta work with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of kids, like after the pandemic, like it was just very emotional. People were angry. A lot of kids were angry.
Yeah.
Young kids angry. That's not cool.
Yeah.
And like it just projected disrespect because we felt disrespected. Like a lot of things were taken away from us.
Yeah.
And like, this happens all around the world, but when it happens to you, it's just crazy,
Well, when you're a kid, you don't get the scope of the world. It's just you in your little space.
Right. Their feelings are valid. Our feelings were valid.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt angry. It's sad, but mostly angry.
Okay.
And that's where the disrespect came in. And like me personally, I was not okay with that. I didn't like to be disrespectful, but I was sad. I was one of the kids that were very sad about it. and like, just our personal emotions can make us closed off to what's around us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And especially if you don't know how to express it or put it into words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like me, like being sad or whatever, being by myself, like I would notice you, like as a teacher, like how like you would kind of struggle to stay connected, like to your class.
Wow, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that goes with like me being an artist, me being able to see things.
Yeah.
I like would see you, like I would see you as a person, I would see you as a teacher. Like, I didn't just see you as a superior, which you were, but all of the above. And I would just, see how you would try to
really
interact
hard. Yeah.
with the kids.
And they wouldn't say anything back to me.
No, and I wanted to speak up. Like I didn't want to be teacher's pet or anything,
No,
but
sure.
I wanted to speak up. Like I wanted to get in the front of the class and go, like, guys,
I wonder
how can we work through this?
Oh, I wonder how many other kids wanted to say that too, but they just
Right?
felt so silenced
Right.
by the mask
Yeah.
and the situation.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, I didn't know it was that obvious, but yeah, it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I would come home and get on the phone like with my other teacher friends and be like, I am just not getting through to anybody. They don't talk to me.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah, that's not cool either. It's sad too.
It is sad. It was so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was worse though online because the silence.
That was dead silence.
I would tell people I felt like a newscaster because I would just like have this screen and I kept seeing myself in the screen too. Yeah. And I'm like, do my eyes do that? Is that that's what my face looks like when I'm talking? No wonder they're not talking back to me. Like, what is this? And then I would just like ask a question and there'd be silence and just like the little icons of people. And it'd be like a girl, but a picture of like, shoot, I don't know, like Lil Wayne or something. I'd be like, why is there a picture of Lil Wayne up there?
We have Lil Wayne in the house.
I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are.
Oh, so sad.
If I ever ran into any of those students like out in the real world,
you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you would not be able to tell.
And even like when they came in to pick up some art supplies or stuff, and I'd see them in person, I'd be like, "Hi,
yeah,
who are you?"
That's crazy.
And they'd act like I'm supposed to know them. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Well, you don't look like Lil Wayne.
Right. You don't look like the letter L.
Who are you? Oh my God, what weird times. What weird times those were.
Exactly. Like on social media, you see one thing, and then in person, they're just like walking in the hallway, like, oh my God, there goes that person, dot number 4. Like,
dot number 4.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, who are we really?
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Glad that's over.
Me too.
Jeez. What's on the next one?
Can't believe it was recently.
I know. Time goes by fast. You're gonna notice too. Like the older you get, the faster it goes, and you're like, "What the heck?
I'm scared.
How did I get to be 30 already?"
You're 30?
No.
Oh.
No, I mean, when you turn 30.
Oh.
I've been 30.
You're like about to retire. I'm like, you're 30?
No, Mariah. I've been working for Morton for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
It is. I watched it change over the course of 30 years.
For real. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Really? Because I have older sisters. They're 30 and 27. Yeah. And they both went to Morton.
Did they go to East?
Mm-hmm. They both went to Morton East. When my sister graduated, I was like not even in first grade. We had Desiree. Hello. That's my biggest sister, the
Okay.
queen herself.
Okay.
She's 30 now.
Okay.
And then we have Yvonne, Princess Mermaid, for real. She's 27.
Okay.
She came 3 years after, and then a big jump, I think 8 years, Shayla herself.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, like a year and a half, then it was me. So it was 1, 3 years later, another, 8 years later, another 8 years.
Okay.
And then 2, and then another 2.
So you're almost like two different families.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was always
the
like
older family and the younger family.
Yeah, it was always like Dot and Yvonne. We call her Dot. Sorry,
Okay.
Dot. It was always them two, and then it was the 3 little ones.
Okay.
So I was one of the 3 musketeers. Yeah, and then I have
all sisters.
Yeah, and 1 brother.
Oh, okay.
My brother is currently a junior in high school. Insane. I'm like, do you know? Her name is Miss Duray. Do you know her? Do you know her? Let me know. Do you know her?
He doesn't take art classes.
No.
Yeah.
He takes culinary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we lose a lot of good art kids to culinary.
Really? I feel like I myself tell my brother a lot, like, do your homework, take your tests, study. A lot of siblings take care of their siblings, I feel.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. There is a lot of that.
Mm.
And then, how much authority do you have over a younger sibling? That must be a struggle, right? Like trying to tell a younger sibling what to do.
Yeah, and they're like, you're not my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, though, because I have older siblings.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that just from when I was in high school, too. Because I have 3 younger brothers.
Right, okay. And you're the oldest?
No, I have one brother older than me.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so we're like the opposite of you, 1 girl and 4 boys.
Mm-hmm. How is that?
Oh, it's not great.
No?
No.
That's funny.
No.
I love my girl world.
Yeah. Luckily, my parents gave me my own bedroom. So I could have my privacy and my girly space because it was confusing though, because I felt like I wanted to do the boy stuff, but I was never boy enough for them. And then when I had girlfriends outside of my family, I felt like I was never girly enough for them because it was like this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be boyish, but not be a boy.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time just in my room by myself, alone.
I think my
crying.
brother. I think my brother can say the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like try to make him our little sister.
Yeah,
he spent a lot of time with himself, but he's very cool. Like he had a lot of toys, a lot of cars, Hot Wheels, Legos, building blocks. So he's really cool.
What do you remember doing when you were a little kid? What was most fun for
you?
Barbies
and CDs, like Matilda, mostly. Yeah, and like Barbie movies, Swan Lake, and Barney, I guess. We didn't have cable. We mostly had CDs and PBS Kids channel.
Well, I do remember you showing me a picture of you when you were really little at an art show at school.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Art has always been a part of my life.
Was there somebody in your family that showed you how to do art, or was it just something you really loved and so you always did it?
I think I always loved it. My dad, actually, he loves art. He does painting and he draws with pencils.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And he still does?
Yeah, he still paints. He still does.
Good for him.
I think my whole life, he loves art.
Good.
So I always kind of think that my love for art was inherited from him. So
yeah, when there's somebody in our life, what I'm finding through this podcast is like if there's somebody in our life that is doing it and encourages us, then it helps us. It helps to nurture that in
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Like I would just see him doing art and I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this like magic you're doing? Like, what are you doing? I've never seen this before. Like, you just copied that picture onto paper.
Okay.
Um, and he's like, oh, I'm drawing. I'm like, drawing? Like, what is drawing? Like, I'm telling you, I was really young. I was a baby.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what anything was. And I discovered art. And I was very intrigued.
Mm. And do you still make art yourself now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like to paint, of course. I did origami with my friends. I went through an origami phase, too.
Origami. I tried that this year for the first time.
Mm.
We had like for the posada that we have at school.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
I was not great at it, and then I was trying to teach kids to make like just
Oh, that's so funny.
it was really hard. I was like, gosh, I thought I was a good teacher until I started to try to teach origami. Oh my gosh.
We made an origami plane.
Okay.
In like first grade for me. I joined like this Girl Scout club, and we made paper planes. And we had to throw it across the gym. That was my first time doing origami. It was very difficult. I did not even do it. It came like a crumbled paper, and I still threw it across the room. Then a few years later, I got back into it. I'm like, actually, this is cool. Like, this is comforting. This is actually like crazy.
Yeah.
Little sculpture out of paper. And I would see like in the art, what do you call it when they have like a little art festival in school though?
Yeah, like an exhibit or an art fair.
Like an art fair. People would make not just sculptures, but skylines.
Oh.
Like actual towns and a lot of things out of paper.
Wow.
Like using origami.
Yeah, I've seen people do really cool things with cut paper too. People
I know
do
you're
like
talking
really
about.
intricate work with like cutting paper, and then like I'm not doing it justice by explaining it right now, but
I can picture, I swear.
really beautiful work with cut papers.
It's like little flags, but it has designs cut out in like little paper.
Yeah.
And then you put it on a piece of string. We did that for my grandfather when we had. I'm so sorry, I don't remember the holiday it was. Yeah, I know it was like a Day of the Dead day, but I don't know what it's called specifically because he's my grandpa. And there's like different days.
Yeah.
But we had a big mural that we built, and we had those flags on it and all the things he loved.
Oh.
Yeah, like mole, basketball.
Basketball.
La Bamba. 007. His favorite video game.
Oh, that's a game.
Yep.
I have no knowledge of video games.
It was like a Game Boy game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was very cool. He played it till he couldn't no more. It was his favorite.
So he died of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, he like smoked, and he ate ice cream. He lived his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he died at 78.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was in the army.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The U.S. Army. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had a lot of photos. He still had his uniform.
Yeah.
And then he got Alzheimer's maybe 6 years before he passed.
Oh.
Maybe
so
6
you
or
saw
8.
the whole progression of it.
Yeah, when I first heard the news, everyone was very sad. We thought it was over. But he was very normal for a very long time. He had some eye issues. And then it wasn't very noticeable until the last 2 years of his life. He started noticing that he couldn't drive anymore. He forgot where he was going.
Okay.
He would be circling the blocks. And we were like, okay, just park the car. And eventually he didn't know how to park the car anymore. And and then he just parked it in the garage one day and he never drove it again. It was very sad.
So did he know that he couldn't drive anymore? Did he know why?
No. That was a very scary thing. It's like he didn't remember that he was bad at it.
Yeah.
So he was constantly asking for his keys, and if he would just make up places like, let's go here, let's go to the store. You said you had to go to the store, right? Like, let's go.
Okay.
And we're like, no, we never said that. Stay here, Grandpa.
That's hard.
Yeah, that was one of the first big things, I think. And then, like, his sleep schedule was terrible. Like, he would never sleep. Like, never.
Really?
So that's when I moved in a little bit.
Okay.
And we had to watch him 24/7. Made sure that he ate, used the bathroom.
He would forget to eat?
Yeah. Also, he has dentures. Or he doesn't have any teeth. So we would have to like grind up his food, and he wouldn't like to eat anymore. So we would have to just kind of encourage him.
Okay. Okay.
And
is it because like did he forget that he didn't chew?
It's very like it's like hard to say, because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Like I don't even, like I know he forgot to chew at some point, but I just don't remember when.
Okay.
You know, like it just like it was one thing after another. Like it was like different things started to shut down, and then eventually everything shut down in his sleep. Because when you're sleeping, it's when you're most rested, most relaxed, and everything just kind of stopped working in his sleep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very interesting.
That is interesting.
But I wish I could go through like all the details, like, because there's just so much that happened. Like, we would dress him, you know, and like every little thing that happened made something else happen. Like if he fell back, like if he fell on the floor, then like he just wouldn't walk anymore or something.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Like we would eventually, well, after his like first major fall, two people would have to take him wherever he moved.
Okay.
And that's what I have to do with my client now too, is like two people have to walk her everywhere. It's very familiar for me. I think that's something my client's family doesn't understand, is that everything that their mom is going through, I've seen the whole process.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to like describe that to them. I don't want to scare them with like, I know how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy. It's not easy for someone that's happening, like it's happening to someone you know personally. It's your mother, it's your grandma, your grandfather.
But do you feel like you have a sense of what's going to happen next? And you're always kind of like, right?
Yeah, I am right.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to like, it's because I don't tell them that like I was right, or I don't even tell them my predictions.
Yeah.
Because it's just so hard for someone to take in. And it's like someone's just in your face saying like, it's like, oh, they have this much time left, and you just kind of want to punch them in the face.
Right.
Like, I don't want them to punch me.
Yeah.
So
nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah. So instead of, I feel like very fearful and a little like sad, telling them my predictions and things that I've noticed. So instead of telling them, I kind of just take care of her how I know I should. And I advise my client's family to take care of her how I'm doing, because I know what she's going through a little bit more than they do.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably more than they want to know.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Like sometimes I think they're too rough with her, and like she, her bones are not the same. Her weight
No.
is she's heavier. She can't hold herself up as she used to.
Oh.
Like when you have Alzheimer's, you kind of forget how to walk, but it's not just that. It's like your brain forgets to like have your muscles flexed. Like when you're walking, you're kind of flexed.
Oh.
Like your muscles, like when
Sure.
you're like, okay, yeah. When you're laying down, you're relaxed. So it's
So
time for her
she's
to get up
moving
and
her
start
legs, but the
walking.
muscles aren't being
Yeah,
strong.
like when it's time for her to walk, she's still relaxed. Like she kind of forgets, or
Yeah.
her body forgets to like be strong and to function
Wow.
normally, basically.
Yeah, there's little things about aging that maybe you're more aware of because of the job that you're in, but
Mm-hmm.
as a woman who's aging,
Yeah.
like my skin, like when you were saying earlier about putting lotion on their feet and their hands, like this is something I never like consciously did, use moisturizers, but now that my skin is aging, it gets
Me
dry
too.
faster.
Me too. Like
Oh,
my job.
you're a baby.
I know, but it's like winter, and I'm like, oh, I better put lotion on.
Yeah. Yeah, stuff times like that. So she probably doesn't even notice that her skin's drier.
She
She just,
doesn't. She probably does. Like, she probably doesn't know what her feet look like, or like,
yeah,
or what she looks like.
yeah.
I think a lot of times her brain just goes back to her memories, because in Alzheimer's you kind of work backwards. Like your brain. Oh my gosh, it's very strange. I don't fully know how to describe it yet, but when you have Alzheimer's, you don't remember your present memories. You get a little forgetful, so the only thing you have are the memories that stuck with you your whole life. Like the memories that are the strongest,
Okay.
the memories that were so long ago.
Like your core, like childhood kind of
Yeah,
things.
like your core memories. So with my grandfather, he was in the war. He was in the I think the Vietnam War, and he has a wife, my grandmother, and as his Alzheimer's was getting a little worse, he didn't have Alzheimer's, he had dementia.
Oh, is there a difference?
Well, I
What's the
think
difference?
dementia is like in the category of Alzheimer's.
Okay.
There's like other things that you can have like within Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Um, but so as he was getting older, he would have bad dreams about him in the war, and he
Oh,
drove a lot, so he would just remember driving and think like, we gotta go, we gotta drive. Like that's what I know. So the things that you would do the most is what they would remember.
what was his job? What did he do as a career?
He worked in a factory,
Okay.
like a storage factory, kind of. Like
Okay.
it wasn't like a working. What's it called? Like a chocolate factory or a meat factory. It was kind of like a storage factory. Like
Okay.
they would get all the packages and put it in there and ship it somewhere.
Okay.
And that's what he did.
But he wasn't a driver for that.
No, but he
Alright.
really loved racing and like race cars.
Oh,
Like
really?
NASCAR.
Okay.
NASCAR fast car. You heard
Okay.
that? Sorry.
No.
NASCAR fast car.
No.
He loved it. He loved all those races.
Okay.
It was,
Uh-huh.
he made a lot of impressions. Like I got them. Like he wasn't a pull my finger kind of grandpa. He was like, "What am I?" And you'd be like a zombie or mummy. But he'd be like, "What am I?" And it's a penguin. He was so funny.
That is funny.
So the things that they did the most is what they would remember.
All right.
Or the major things. Like they got married. That's what they remember.
Okay.
Or sometimes if they had a really big fight that changed their relationship, they remember that. Like even like with Alzheimer's, like they remember the major things. If they had a child, they remember their children. They probably remember like maybe when they were born, or a major age
Mm,
that their child turned, they'll probably remember that.
okay.
And then they'll remember them currently, like present.
Yeah.
Like I got lucky enough for my grandpa to remember us until he passed. But sometimes, like, parents like forget their children
Yeah.
when they have Alzheimer's.
Yeah. One of my very good friends, her mother has Alzheimer's. I think I was telling you about her.
Yeah, yeah.
And her, not the current dog, but the last dog, her mom would watch for her when she was, before she had Alzheimer's, before it started affecting her memory. And then when it started affecting her memory, my friend would go and get her dog, and her mom would be like, "Why are you taking my dog?" And my friend would be like, "No, she's my dog."
No, someone get her a dog.
But I think you told me, well, she probably thought it was her dog.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like everything that they say, that's what they truly believe.
Mm-hmm.
They're not telling any jokes. There's no joking anymore.
No.
No joking. If they want something, they actually want it. Like, and if you don't give it to them, or if they can't do it, they get very frustrated because they don't know anything except that moment, except the thing that they want.
Right.
They don't know how to like work around it.
But do they know that their memory is failing them?
Sometimes they're aware of it and they feel sad about it.
Yeah.
They feel like they say like, I feel different. I'm starting to forget things. My client said to me as we were talking, because she's not American, but she knows English.
Mm-hmm.
And we would be talking in English, and she would forget some English, and she would say, "I'm sorry, I forgot like how to say some things because I have a sickness."
Oh, okay. So she's aware, a little aware.
Yeah, and like then they know that they're sick, and then when it really starts to get like they don't even remember like English at all, and they get angry. And then after that, I could go into that a little bit more, but after they fully forgot something, then they even forgot that they forgot it. Like they think like she'll think that she never knew English at all. You know. Or we'll be in her apartment and it's like a new apartment. So she'll think like, this is not my house. Like, are we in your house right now? Like, no, it's your house. She's like, girl, this is not my house. My house has like brown cabinets. Like, this is not my house.
Yeah.
And it's like hard for them, you know? Like,
yeah.
Because, you know, it's uncomfortable to be around things you don't know.
Sure.
You know, it's uncomfortable when the only things that you remember are non-existent.
Yeah.
It gets like, you know,
sad. Yeah, like you're living in a different lifetime or something.
Yeah. Like with my grandfather, we had to take away all the clocks and watches because they would not believe what time it was.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Something so simple could be so confusing.
Yeah, it's like little like mini, like I don't want to say heart attacks, but major shocks for them. A lot of things would be very shocking.
Yeah.
It's really like, think of you yourself, like someone took part of your memory.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. There's movies about that for a reason. Because it really happened in some form.
Yeah. So would even like a calendar be something that could really upset them with like the year?
Possibly. But a lot of times they don't take the time to read things.
Okay.
At some point. I don't think it would be like a major thing with something like a calendar because it's not as official. If you have like an old calendar, you know, they don't take any mind to it. Or maybe they'll even look at it like, oh, it's 2025. That's funny. Like, that's far away. Like,
Huh.
it's very
Okay.
interesting. There's things that they do care about, and there's things that they're like, it depends on the time. It depends on what stage you're in
Yeah.
with your Alzheimer's. Sometimes they'll think it's funny, or sometimes they couldn't even read it.
Okay.
Like, even so with Alzheimer's, it's like your eyes sometimes stop working. Like, your vision goes bad. I'm not sure the science behind it, but you lose your vision. I've heard some cases where you have Alzheimer's and you forget how to chew, and then you choke on your food.
Oh.
Even though you're fully alive and functioning, you just
Mm-hmm.
forgot how to chew. And that's how they will pass.
Wow.
Or like, you forget how to walk and you fall and you hurt yourself and you might pass that way.
Yeah. Yeah, fall can be very tragic for an older person.
Mm-hmm. It's very scary. There's a lot of reasons why they say when you have Alzheimer's, you go backwards. Like, you have less memory, as if you're brand new to the world.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like a little kid again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, even like my mom, she works at a Segwin. She works with older people with disabilities. And sometimes she says that they are kind of like children as well, for their own personal side of symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, my mom's job also makes me love my job, because it's not exactly the same, but it's in the same field where we take care of people that lose some of their abilities.
Yeah.
So me and my mom bond in that way.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it very much. I feel very blessed. Like, I feel like even if I don't have this job forever, I would love to be a part of it in some way, even a little bit. Because I think that everything that I went through and my connections and whatnot, it's like, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I just want to be a part of it, like, kind of forever. I think it's important. Anyway.
Do you read a lot about people with Alzheimer's, or are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. I just kind of take it in the moment. Just kind of learn by experience.
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's nothing more realer than what's actually happening.
Do you feel like having some kind of artistic background has helped you at all in like life or your job?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Art made my core calmer. Made my brain calmer. It made me like able, when you're doing art, you could just tune out everything else. And that kind of became a skill of mine. Also, when you're painting something, you know what you're painting, but other people may look over your shoulder and think, what are you doing? I don't see the vision. And you're like, well, I do. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm painting. I know what the outcome is going to look like.
Yeah.
And that is like a skill. Like, that became a skill of mine, where if somebody doesn't trust in me, I trust in what I'm doing. If somebody doesn't see what I'm describing, I'm gonna make you see.
You have the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. Like, you have a plan. There's
right.
The planning part is just as important as the execution.
Yes. Okay. It's like, I know how to say everything that I will plan with a picture, and then like I could say everything that I'll plan with a situation. Like, my relationship with painting is like, you start with the canvas, you have all your materials, you sketch out your thing, you lay it out, and then you start painting, and sometimes you add layers in there and dimension.
Yeah.
Whereas in a real life situation, you have the people around you, the topic of the situation, people's opinions, meaning what these people can do, like what my art materials, like everything has a little purpose. Every person has a little purpose. But you are the artist. Like, I am the person you know, with all these things, like with the people around me and with the situation, I'm gonna deal with it how I see fits.
So it sounds to me like what you're talking about is building your intuition and being able to trust yourself
Yes, it's very
because you've seen
important.
yourself create something from just an idea and a sketch and you build it up into a painting so you know what you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it then reinforcing your intuition and your gut that you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Am I making sense? Is it the same thing? Are we saying the same thing or
Yes, but then you said like reinforcing and like intuition, and
Like
those are big words.
So you trust yourself.
Yes.
It helped you.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't trust yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hate what you're doing. You hate your artwork. You want to throw it across the room.
Yeah.
And it may take you a long time to come back to it and to figure out what to do. You know.
That's so true. Yeah.
And that goes with life. Like,
yeah.
It really does. Like,
yeah, that painting that I showed you in the other room of it's my niece in the water.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's a very beautiful picture.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I've been working on it for like 5 years.
I believe you. It's very amazing.
Because it went through a stage where it was very loose. It was the underpainting, and I loved the underpainting so much. And people would be like, "Oh, this is so beautiful." I'd be like, "Well, it's just the underpainting. I haven't even started on it." And they're like, "Oh, just leave it like it is."
Oh no!
And I left it like that for a little while, and I'm like, "It's just." One of these days I'm going to finish it, and I keep adding layers and layers, and I'm still just not quite done with it. I've completed other artworks in between, but I keep going back to it. Like it needs another layer, and maybe I should have stopped like 10 layers ago. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep building up onto it, and eventually I'll reach a point where I'm satisfied, and maybe that's a parallel or a metaphor of what life is, where you might leave certain friends and later on come back to them, or leave a town or a city that you grew up in and then come back to it. Or,
yeah, those are major things.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm being too deep for us right now.
I like have so many deep ideas. I'm like, we're gonna be here till the sun comes up.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
I'm gonna be here talking to myself. You're gonna hear me in your dreams.
All the good stuff.
Just like what you were saying with the layers and stuff. I'll be in school, or I'll just be painting a picture for fun, and I think like it looks so good, just plain. And like you want to do more, and then you do a little bit more, and then you kind of regret it. But then it's like you keep on working on it, and then you're like, did I just cover the beautiful picture with a different picture, or is it all the same? And that's like, wow, like that could go with like a life lesson there.
There's all this work now where people take X-ray machines and they'll look for all the works that are underneath paintings by masters like Picasso or Da Vinci and stuff, and they're like, oh, look here, look at all these, look at what it used to look like.
I hate that.
Don't you? Because I think like as an artist, that's the stuff I painted over. I never wanted anybody to see that. And yet here these people are with their X-rays going, we can see it now. We can see what you painted over.
Yeah. Like, you're not the artist.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's so disrespectful.
What are you looking at?
You see what I want you to
Rude.
see, and that's it.
Exactly.
You should have watched the process then. Should have been there from the beginning.
Rude people with their technology.
Yes. I thought you were mentioning some people take really old paintings, and you know how like they're in a museum, and they put like a white or clear layer so that it reserves the original painting.
Yeah.
I saw this clip of someone taking all the clear layers off, to its original colors.
Oh.
It's very insane. Like, you see these old pictures and you think it's like brown,
Yeah.
but it's orange,
Yeah.
bright orange.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing.
Because the stuff they put on top, thinking they were preserving it, actually got yellowed and
dusty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they did that with like Michelangelo's ceiling. The
Ninja Turtle.
Not the Ninja Turtle.
What time is it?
It is time for you to go.
I'm being kicked out.
But yeah, they did. I know what you mean. Like, for so many years, people thought the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel looked a certain way, and then they started taking all the grime and the dirt off, and now it's back to its original bright colors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so crazy how time is.
Yeah.
Like when people hear some music and they're like, oh, this new song. Like, girl, it came out 30 years ago.
Right. Right. That's just a sample.
Yeah. Or like with the picture. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it looks like this, but you might meet someone older and it's like you're actually seeing the dirty version. I saw the original.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
Sorry.
No problem.
Oh my god, me in
now,
school.
if you've got somewhere else important to go.
No. You're like, get out.
What do you think? Do you think you're gonna stick in this job for a while, or do you have other plans?
Yeah.
Or are you just
I want to get more clients and just gain more experience. Because my mom, also, she's turning 50. And she's going to be an old one day. And I want to know how to take care of her. Because a lot of people are different. A lot of elderly people turn out different. So I want to stay in this job to take care of people and to learn from different people.
Yeah.
And I love the impact that, like, when I go into these families, they're meeting a young woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do this. Yeah, I want to do this for a while.
Sounds like you're really good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like when you do these kinds of things, when you work with people and you are a person yourself, like, you just gain these abilities that you're not quite aware of until you use them. And you kind of say things that you didn't expect yourself to say, but it came from you.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of the, like, what I mean by the impact I have on families. It's like I'm going into it and I don't really know what I'm going to do that day, but I might do something that will change, like, how they treat their dementia.
Yeah. You're making a relatives.
Difference. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good feeling when you're in a job that, first of all, you enjoy, and you know that you're helping other people and you're making a difference.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel important, and
you are.
I love to take that role.
Yeah.
And I love to make them feel important and remind them. So I think they just gave me this job, like, she checks all the boxes, but I don't think they really knew, like, how eligible I really was. Like, I don't think they knew that I was really gonna pour my heart into this. That I really care for people. I'm not just able to do it. I care for them. Like, I'll be the best at it, and I will work at it.
Yeah.
And it's more dynamic than just like a retail store or a restaurant.
Did you know how good you were going to be at it?
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Just because I knew that I wanted to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I when I want something, I work at it until I'm like the max perfect.
Yeah.
So I just knew I wanted to be the best. Like, I care for people so much, and I just think it's perfect that I have this job where I can do it and get paid for it.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, reach out to people that I would have never met any other way.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I think that's another beautiful thing. It's like, I get these clients and I'm like a part of their world, and they become a part of mine. Like, I go home and I think about them, and I think about what I'm going to do and what happened that day.
Yeah. That's similar to teaching.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that.
Yeah. I think about the kids all the time, and it's almost like they're an entire entity. It's not like there are individuals, but there's also like the students, my students.
Yes.
Like, they just become this entire living organism as a whole.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some people that love it, some people that hate it.
Yeah.
You know, there's those people. But we're just not those people.